Hey, good morning, everybody. How's it going? I see that there are tons of you already on here talking, and I love it. Um, Brady, I'm so sorry you're in Florida. Although, I don't know, maybe you're having fun. I'm guessing you're there for the daughters' volleyball tournament, which is rad, super, super, super rad. So I hope that goes well. I hope the team does really great. That's awesome. Dave Kessler, good to see you. Pack Racer 316. Still in Oklahoma where the humidity is thick enough to cut with a knife. Oh, oh. Roger Hurd, what's happening? James Tully, what's happening, man? You're in Arizona, right on. What are you doing down there? Is it 1,000 degrees? Bruce Kennedy, good morning. Make sure extreme. Best writings in Florida. Hey, Paul, Ansi, what's happening? Are you still at the Halliburton thing? That looked awesome. Gary M., Ken Stutzman, Chris Kinberg, Kim Jackson, what is happening? Jimmy Neihart, what is up? Jim Rupp, what is up? It's great to see you guys here. There's a ton of you already, and I love it. Good to see everybody doing stuff. Let's see if I missed anything. Dave Kessler, 10 days straight. That is nuts. That's a lot of rain. Conditions report for Western Colorado. We have been getting a ton of rain for us. It's been full on monsoon season, which is great. Like I haven't seen that in so many years, it feels like. And plateau's been getting hit, mountains have been getting hit. Down here in town, not so much. That's pretty normal. But so it's not it's not awesome out in the Adobes, but the plateau is going to be good. I'm riding Rico with a few friends this weekend. Cannot wait for that. That is going to be spectacular because they've been getting rain and moisture down there. Roger heard rain every day in Arizona. That's awesome. Chris Kinberg, question for the show. Doesn't matter if you put your bike on a stand for mooses. Heard they can get flat spots if left sitting for more than a week or tied down too long. Yes, they will get flat spots. No, I don't worry about it. I mean, my bikes are all just parked on the ground with their kickstands. So, but they do definitely, so Brady puts his on, it would definitely be better. I would just need so many stands that, so I just park them. But yes, they definitely develop a flat spot. I also noticed though that it goes away as soon as you start riding. I don't notice it. Ronnie Nelson. Hey, first of all, just real quick, Ronnie Nelson, thank you so much. I got your package yesterday. Thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough. I really appreciate it. Let's see. James Tilley, just passing through Arizona from California. Trash another lower fork tube with the Donner Hard Enduro a couple weeks. That blows. That happens. And Brady Metter, yes, all my bikes are hammered piles, so it doesn't really matter. I agree. And Chris Kinberg, my bikes only sit for a day. Jimmy Neihart, what is up? Thank you so much for the super chat. iHeart TPI Tramp Step. Let's go. So Jimmy Neihart has he wants me to get an I love TPI. I don't know about Tramp Stamp. You said I get to choose where it goes. Tattoo. And he asked how much would it take to do that. I told him $5,000 and I will get an iHeart TPI tattoo. I'm not going to get a Tramp Stamp, but I will get one. So if you guys want to raise $5,000, I'll do it, but I'm not doing it for less than that. What did Brady, to Scott Willard, what's happening? Chris Kinberg will pay for the tattoo for $5,000. Chris, if anyone does it, I'm down. Rod asked another heat wave in Kansas. That's a bummer. Michael Webster, what's happening? There we go. Kinberg and Jimmy Neihart. You guys get together. Let me know, and I will get a sweet iHeart. And it won't be like T90. I'll get a big one. Like, I'm not afraid. I will show you. Someday I will bring out the proposed tattoo that I totally chickened out on in younger years, but I would do it. Brady's I already have a tramp stamp, so I don't have room for another one. Oh, I kind of wish that were true. So real quick, I got some business to take care of. Not business. First of all, I just got the XR650R done that Meeker Extreme, Mr. Mark Odette, donated to. We're going to auction it off and give the money to the Motorcycle Relief Project. So please check that video out here on YouTube. Also go to Meeker Extreme's YouTube channel and check out his video about it. Also Facebook, there's posts about it. We're auctioning this thing off. I just got done with it. It comes with a ton of parts. I didn't get everything put onto it because I didn't know if everybody wanted everything that was in the box on it. And there are great parts that you could use either on that bike or on other bikes or whatever. Anyway, and there's spare parts like extra radiators and things like that. It's a 2001 XR650R. I went through, checked the valves, changed the oil, went through the whole thing. It's all good. I cleaned the carburetor. The bike runs great. Task Racing gave us a headlight, and I mounted that up into an OEM mask with lithium, a really nice anti-gravity battery that Meeker Extreme / Mark Odette got for us. The thing is awesome. All the money's going to a great thing. So, Brady Metter, to bid on said XR. Let's see. I'm going to type this in, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but hang on. So here is the email that you want to email to. So if you want to make a bid, it's just a silent auction. If you want to make a bid, send an email to Meeker Extreme XR650R at yahoo.com. And July 30th at midnight, we're closing the auction down, and Mark will obviously go through the bids, take the highest one. That person gets the bike. It's titled, street legal, ready to rock and roll. It's a great bike. So let's see. Let's see. Hang on. What's your take on two-stroke YZ250X or FX? I can't remember. Ronnie Nelson, YZ250X is the two-stroke one. It's not the F is obviously four-stroke. Anyway, whatever. Awesome bike. To me, it's not all that different from the normal YZ. So if I had both of them sitting in front of me and one was, $500 less, I'd probably buy the $500 less one. But the real difference in the 250X is a wide ratio gearbox. It's still 5-speed. You get a kickstand and an 18-inch wheel, and then the power valve timing is a little bit different. And I'm sure there's a little bit of port timing and compression, whatever, but the motor is not that different other than the power valve governor. So, but it's an awesome bike, definitely a little more luggable, easier to ride at low RPMs, but they're both great, and I would ride either one. The normal YZ with a 19-inch wheel, if you run tubes, it's nice to have an 18-inch wheel. If you're running mooses, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, anyway, great bikes. Also, I forgot to do this last week. Drew Holland, one of our customers who lives over in the Mancos West End, over kind of your Cortez area, wanted me to give a huge shout out, and I needed to do this anyway, to Bulletproof Designs. Huge shout out to Nate and the crew at Bulletproof Designs. Drew bought a bike kind of through us. We had been working on it anyway. He bought a bike of 300 KTM, and he was kind of going through everything, just making sure everything was good. John Rybacki, what's happening? When he took the rear disc guard off, there was a part that was worn out on it just from life, whatever. Nothing bad. And he took a picture of it, sent it to me. He's like, "Hey, Morgan, can I get this part from Bulletproof Designs?" I'm like, "I think so," because the way they go together. So I sent the picture to Nate, because Nate is nice enough to let me have his cell phone number. So I texted the picture to Nate. Nate said, "Oh yeah, we'll take care of that. No problem. What bike's it on?" Told him what bike, and they sent Drew a brand spanking new whole disc guard. Like, he didn't even buy the disc guard. Like, the person before him bought the disc guard and put it on the bike, and then Drew bought the, anyway, Drew had no expectations of getting anything for free. And yeah, so huge shout out. Sorry, Drew, I didn't do it last week. Huge shout out to Bulletproof Designs and Nate. Just absolutely the best in aluminum protection for your motorcycle. Please buy stuff from them. They're an American company. Everything's made in the United States. Everything's done. It's just awesome, and they're amazing. Dave Kessler, what is the most effective way to advertise this auction? I would say share everything you can on Facebook. Also, please share the YouTube videos, both from Meeker and me. Go to each of our things. Obviously, like each one of them, and then share those videos as much as humanly possible. So just hammer down. Kevin O'Loughlin, yeah, Bulletproof, first thing I put on my bikes, me too. Tom the Battle Axe, BP rad guards for themselves, pay for themselves in 3 rides. Just smash a tree, easily save my radiator. Yeah, totally. Shane McNabb retracted the statement, so he's gonna probably put that back on there. John Rybacki, any tips on rebuilding a KYB shock? I think I've got a video on here on YouTube about it. But just take your time. Honestly, the best thing about the most advice I can give, the best advice I can give you about rebuilding, well, anything, is just take your time and just go slow and make sure it's all good. Glenn from South Australia, good to see you here, man. How's it going? Let's see if I don't think I missed anybody. By the way, Shane, hi. I don't know what you said, but I missed it. Pack Racer, I'm just glad Brady had all the B guards on the K team before I purchased it. Yes, absolutely. Shane McNabb, is there a magic button on the 250X yet? No. But I don't know if you guys have seen the YZ125 for 2022 got an actual real update. The motor is brand new. The chassis is the same, but the motor is brand spanking new. And I am really excited about that because I hope what that means is that 23 YZ250s will get a real update. And maybe, just maybe, they'll actually make some real changes to those bikes. It would be awesome. There we go. Brady Metter, TBT has a YouTube video on KYB shock rebuild. There you go. Check it out for sure. What time is it in Australia? That's a good question. Yeah, Glenn, what time is it in South Australia? Bike Vault, Jeff. Hi, Morgan. 2 questions for this week. What are your thoughts on Tubeless and Electron carburetor? I just bought a 17EX3, Tubeless on the rear. Then I will fit Electron this weekend. Bike Vault, obviously, you're relatively new to the channel. The support, thank you so much. But I can't stand Tubeless. So personally, I know there's a ton of people out there that love it. Ton of people that, like, there we go, Meeker Extreme loves it. I don't like it because I have seen it fail so many times in our sharp rocks. Now, I don't know how Thailand is for rocks and sharpness. I've never been there, so I don't know. The people who really like Tubeless and seem to have a good like experience with it are guys that live in real muddy and wet conditions, because you can lower the pressure so far down, you can get really, really good traction. The problem is that when you hit anyway, when you get the sharp rocks, I don't like it. And I also don't like the fact there's too many points of failure. There's 2 points of failure per wheel on that. Obviously, I'm a moose guy. I like mooses because there's no points of failure, except for, I guess, if you're too much of a gorilla and you break the bead putting it on. But other than that, or guys that don't go fast in sharp rocks. Fair enough, Jeremy Schoening. Meeker Extreme. I'm in Colorado. I try to avoid rocks. Yeah, it's the Brady Metter. I know, Brady, it does have Tubeless, but it has really nice Warp 9 wheels on it. And you can take the Tubeless right off and put tubes in it, which, by the way, I have an XR650ER, and I don't run mooses in that. I run heavy-duty tubes and keep enough air in them, and I never have flats. So there you go. Let's see. Tom the Battle Axe, tubeless in the back, bibs in the front. I guess if someone put a gun to my head and said I had to run at least one tubeless, that's how I would do it, because you got more cushion back there for things to not tear up. And it would be, I guess, nice to have a whole bunch of traction back there. Jeremy Schoening. And I still have, when did I still have one? When did I have a flat? It's been a long time since I've had a flat in the on that bike vault. What about the Electron carburetor? Electron carburetor, I've actually had good luck. I don't love them. Let's put it this way. I think they work great. I think if you once tuned, first of all, I don't think they're completely hands off. I think you do have to tune them, usually just once, which is awesome. Once they're tuned, I do like the way they run. They're very kind of, I don't know. They're very linear power. They're kind of soft, which is good. I mean, it gives you a lot of traction. It's easy to ride. So whatever. I don't think that they're worth the money personally. I think you can jet a carburetor and get it dialed in without it, but they are good. And especially if you don't want to fiddle with jetting, I think if you tune the thing right, you're pretty much done. You don't have to mess with jetting. So there's good and bad about them. I personally won't buy another one. I'm not going to spend the money on one because I think I can make my carburetors work just fine, and I'm willing to change brass every now and then. Tony Andrews, what's happening? Let's see. Jimmy Nyhart, when you did the 1K, did you run tubes? Jimmy, so when I did the 1K solo, I did run tubes because I had no money and hadn't really run tubeless mooses before. So I ran tubes, and I ran one set of tires and tubes and wheels the entire 1K because I forgot the extra wheels and tires in Sonata the night before. I forgot to get them into the race trailer. So I had to do the whole race on one set of wheels. It was ridiculous. Let's see. Gary M., I've got tubeless. They're in the garage collecting dust. I like it. Maker Extreme says smart carb is the way to go. Yes. Smart carb is they're awesome. They're just like, well, they have a lot that is better about them than the Electron, as far as you can adjust it from the outside and all that stuff. So I mean, I've never run one. Jimmy Nyhart, TPI Life. It's so good. Glenn, I run tubeless front and back, 1 PSI rear, 511 on our sandy coastal single track, traction for days. Yeah, Glenn, I would imagine in the sand, it would be nice to be able to run super low like that. Motorcycles and Mayhem, how much torque on rim lock with Moose? Thanks. So I don't know what the actual torque spec that I put on it. Oh, here it goes. I just get them tight, the same tightness I would do for a tube. Yeah, there you go. Brady Metter, tight. The one thing I can say about rim locks is depending on the rim lock that you have, like the style of rim lock that you have, you do have to be careful over tightening because you can, like on the kind of, they're not lead, but they're the softer metal one with the rubber coating. I've actually seen people pull the bolt through that before, but just get them tight. Like, use your best judgment. Let's see. Oh, guys, by the way, I'm looking at my little counter up here. We got over 40 people watching, but only 15 thumbs up. So if you are enjoying this, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. It really does make a big difference for the channel. So you can back out, hit it, and then you got to back out of the chat, hit the thumbs up, and then come back in. Let's see. Tom the Battle Act, TPI stock is meh. TPI with remap is dangerously fast. It definitely can be set up. I just wish you could do it yourself. Make your stream. You can still get a button for the XR650R CFAB. That's a ton of work for that. So, make your stream switch to a thumbs down. Thanks, man. Jimmy Neihart, I use German torque. I like it. Guten tight. Let's see. Jimmy, I've snapped rim locks in from too tight. The Motion Pro says 14 foot-pounds, which is too low for me. Yeah, like I said, I just get them nice and tight. There are some really nice rim locks that are like all aluminum. I've never used it. Bike Vault, I can donate 18-inch tubeless for the 650 auction. Actually, so it does. By the way, the bike does have tubeless on it. So already, but let's see. Dirty Duo, favorite place I ever rode. Great question. That's a tough one. I would say honestly, probably my favorite place, just and for lots and lots and lots and lots of reasons, is the Crested Butte, Gunnison, Taylor Park area. It's just because that's where I really learned to ride in the mountains, and it's beautiful, and it's just, yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, rim locks. Yeah, we all knew he was talking about rim locks. At least I knew he was talking about rim locks. Yeah. So, and yeah, Dirty Duo, riding for days up there. Absolutely, tons and tons of riding, and that includes Sergeants, because that's kind of all the same zone to me. Single track, yeah. Jeremy Shunning, Single Track Shack. So like that Taylor Park, Sergeants area, to me, it's all one place because you can ride to from anyway. It's a big zone, and I love it. And Jeremy, I've never actually ridden in the Single Track Shack. We should do that. We should get a video of mini bikes in the Single Track Shack, maybe a couple burnout marks on the floor, because I know you're a flooring guy and would absolutely love that. So yeah, any other questions, guys? Keep hitting me. Roger Hurd, favorite place is Mexico. I also do love riding in Mexico, so very much. Keith McQueen, handlebar mustache for the win. I'm not gonna like twist it up though. I'm not hipster enough for that. Yeah, and I just have to keep it, changing. Shoning, I'm down with big bikes. Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. A big burnout mark on the floor would be actually, that would be really cool looking, I think. I don't know. Brady Metter, you shouldn't have missed the shack. You should have been there on July 4th. It was awesome. So take that. Also, guys, Shady Burrow is coming up. If anybody's going to be there, make sure you hit me up. I'm going to be there both days racing. It's going to be awesome. Super duper fun. Ever been stuck in the woods trail overnight? I have not on a dirt bike. I spent lots of time backpacking, things like that, climbing, but no, I've never actually had to spend the night. I have been out way past dark because of, I've done it on purpose, and I've also done it because of breakdowns and things like that. What is the idea after Idaho Ride the World event? The next Ride the World is going to be mile markers January in down in the Phoenix area. So okay, Shady Burrow desperately needs workers. We need to get course workers. I already signed up, so I'm racing. But yeah, we need to do that. James Tully, you're working Shady. Awesome. Good. I'll see you there. But yeah, so the next Ride the World is definitely going to be Phoenix in January, probably like January 1. It's going to be, I'm going to try to do a ride around New Year's. We did that last year just as a family. It was really awesome. And then it's not going to be a Ride the World event, but please, if you're interested at all, come to the Gold Rush in Oklahoma. It's the first weekend in November, and it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be absolutely a freaking hoot. The Idaho trip is still open. We're not, I'm trying to get t-shirts designed. Hopefully I'll get that done. I don't know if it's going to happen. My buddy is drawing them. Hopefully it's going to happen before we go. If not, then we'll take orders for shirts afterwards and get that done. It will be, yeah, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, so right now I'm not taking any money up front for t-shirts or anything like that in Idaho. Also not going to do a big dinner because it's just going to be me. And I'm not going to have, I don't think I'm going to have the bandwidth to do that, but we're going to hang out, obviously. What is the weather sitch in AZ in January, Jimmy Neihart? It is perfect. We were there last January 1, and it was like 65, 70 degrees and just, I mean, brilliant. So it is really, 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 really good down there in January. So yeah, highly recommend it if you can make it. I'm thinking, I haven't decided 100%, but I'm thinking about doing kind of what we did last January, because I'm going to bring the kids for sure. But we did a day of moto at the Canyon motocross track, which is right there near mile markers. It's on the northeast side of Phoenix. So we did a day of motocross and then 2 days of off-road riding. So we'll have to see. Pack Racer, how difficult is the terrain in Arizona? It's anything from super easy to super, super hard. As far as what we're going to be doing, it'll all depend on the group that you end up with and all that. But there's some pretty gnarly stuff there. There's also plenty of there's a bunch of dual sport stuff you can do too. Hey, Ed Dugan, what's happening? How you doing, man? Stoked to get you your bike back at the Shady Burrow. It's going to be awesome. Gary M, yes, very rocky. Yeah, actually, Pack Racer, the thing I would say about Arizona is A, it's rocky, and B, there are a ton of cactus. So, yeah, Jimmy Nyhart, East Coast posse, let's bring it. Dirty Doyle, Arizona is savage. Yes, Roger Hurd. Yes, we did have In-N-Out. Thanks to Roger Hurd. When we were at the motocross track, Roger came down and brought us In-N-Out, which is awesome. David Kessler, my mom, thanks for asking. I love my mom. She is actually right now having surgery for a cataract in her eye. So if you guys wouldn't mind keeping her in your thoughts and prayers, that would be awesome. She had one that's where she was last week too. She had one eye done last week, this eye done this week. It went really well the last time. It was awesome. Beverly Boys, what's up from Canada? Thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Brady Metter, ooh, thoughts on the new Triumphs? I'm excited to see another brand. Obviously, the joke will always stand that, why do the British not build computers? The answer is because they haven't found a way for them to leak oil yet. But I am, I'm excited, and they've got some good ambassadors on the team, trying to bring some street cred to the whole thing. I think it's going to be cool. I'd love to see new players in the game. It's going to be interesting. Let's see. Meeker Extreme, I would absolutely 100% run Mooses in Arizona. I wouldn't even consider air in my tires in Arizona for any the rocks. Like the cactus are huge, and they have spines that will actually go through a tire, and then also the rocks that are there are crazy sharp. So yeah. Dude named Eric, I heard that Suzuki was getting out of the game. That wouldn't surprise me at all. They haven't done anything on their bikes, any of their bikes in forever, and no one rides them, it seems like. There we go. James Tully, any suggestions for better fork protection from stock? Sorry, you mentioned that earlier, James. I forgot to mention it. So I don't have any options. I don't know. Hopefully someone has better options. Bruce Kennedy, how did Ed receive the news about the oil filter and backwards? Ed, you can chime in if you want. He took it like a champ. Take a page from Beta's book and copy KTM a lot, but do it yourself. There we go. I like it. Glenn, I'm seriously thinking about going back to a two-stroke. Sherco 300 going to be too much for an old guy that's been on a four-stroke KTM for years. Also considering gas TPI. Glenn, no, a 300 it'll be perfect. Like that's the beauty of the 300 two-stroke is you can really, and either the Sherco or the KTM or whatever, you can really tune those things to be nice and buttery smooth, and they have a ton of torque, which it helps for an old guy. Who just wants to cruise around. So anyway, I think the 300 would be great. It's also probably 30 pounds lighter than whatever KTM you're riding, which is nice. So yeah, big fan. Chris Kinberg, I want to take you to Laughlin when I come to AZ. I need to do that. I need to get back to Havasu. I need to plan that trip. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Yeah, Roger, heard you got on the bike. I'm guessing on your KX. That is awesome. How did it go, by the way? There we go. Brady Metter says ProTech fork guards. I haven't even seen those. I gotta check those out. And Jimmy Neihart heard about Triumph getting the Enduro game. I think I was just talking about. I guess I didn't mention Enduro, but yeah, excited about Triumph. It's gonna be awesome. The Dirty Doyle 300 is better for beginners. 125 is an expert bike. Agree, Dirty Doyle. But even though it's an expert bike, I still ride a 125, and it is a lot of fun. But yeah, I would not. For an old guy that just wants to cruise around trail riding, a 125 is not that awesome. It is like my 125 is just a race bike now. It just like sits in the corner waiting for races because it really does not like to go slow at all ever. So yeah, which is it's funny. Right on KLX. That's awesome, Roger. I'm glad to hear you're back on a bike or you got onto a bike. That is awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Mike Cleaner, did you like that? I figured you like that. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Make it extreme. I agree. He says get the Sherco 300. I really do like the Sherco a lot. I really like that bike a lot. John Paul Davidson, thank you so much for the nice words. I appreciate that. Tom Battle, 125s are fun if you can keep the revs up. It is seriously fun. My 125 XC is just a brilliant machine. So, by the way, all you guys are so wonderful. You follow the channel, you support us. Coming very soon is another rebuild on the 125 after overheating the living crap out of it at the last race. I'm going to put another piston in it. But also I'm I'm doing it because it needs it anyway. It's got 30 more hours on it and of beating and overheating and all that. But also huge thank you to Kelsey at RK Tech. He sent me an even higher compression head for it. So it should be ready for the Shady Burrow because the Shady Burrow is up over like 13,000 feet at some point. So yeah, it's going to be, it should be really, really good. So stay tuned for that video. We'll get that done. We'll have it side by side showing the difference between a 6,000 to 10,000 head and a 10,000 up head or whatever. Anyway, so it's going to be awesome. The TM is Sherco and TM are identical. Chris Kinberg, I don't agree that the TM and the Sherco are identical. Let's see. Jimmy Neihart, section 6 was uphill from the very get-go to the very end. And I don't think we ever even like dipped back down. It did go flat for a second or two every now and then, but it was straight up. It was crazy. And Brady, their aluminum frame, TM steel on Sherco. There's a lot of differences, actually. I don't know about the motor. I don't know. James Tully, great to see you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. It's awesome. Ooh, Death March dates. Jeremy Schoening is asking because everybody needs to be there, including Brady, who calls it the Dumb March. September 18th. We're camping up at Spring Creek Reservoir or near there. Dirty Doyle, do I like Arizona or Moab better? Arizona. Moab, Moab. The only place I like to ride near Moab, really, I don't mind dual sporting around the Moab area on my 650, but as far as I'm losing my mind. The single track, the only place that's near Moab is the Whitewash Sand Dunes with Dubinky, all that, and that's pretty good. But Arizona is absolutely freaking amazing. Chris Kittenberg, that is awesome. Can't spell KTM without TM. That's awesome. Yeah, Maker Stream. Green River is much better single track than Moab by a lot. Bruce Kennedy, SmackDown update. Good question. He's talking about Zach and I going fisticuffs because we hit 10,000 subscribers. By the way, thank you all for subscribing. It really means. Also, if you're watching this right now live and you're like, what is this thing? And you're enjoying it, hit the subscribe button. That means a lot. Also, if you're watching this later and you're enjoying it, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you're watching this later, I think you can replay the chat. There's a chat going on right over here. I think you can replay that because that will make a lot more sense. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Thank you for inspiring me to do this and actually make it work. It was awesome. There we go. Chris Kimberg. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I'm just Tom Ballax, Jet Block asking JD Kit. McCooney rips after that. I agree. So Bruce Kennedy, SmackDown update. We are working on it. Is going to be called Mayhem in Montrose or Montrose Mayhem. Probably Mayhem in Montrose, kind of like the Thrill in Manila or the Rumble in Joe. So it's going to be Mayhem in Montrose. I haven't figured out exactly. I think we're going to do it up in the woods, involving some laps, some dirt bike laps, coming back boxing, and dirt bike lap and coming back boxing. I think that's kind of the idea right now. We're building up to it. There'll be the tail of the tape and all that stuff. By the way, Zach's going to win that one by a long way. Dirty Joe, why are WP forks so mediocre? Yes, Bruce Kennedy, I liked your suggested name. We just had to take the moto out. We didn't have to, but that is the name of the race series that we had. So yeah. AK Coleman, thank you. I'm glad that videos can help. Thank you so much. And Dirty Joel, I don't know why WP. Well, it's because they're saving money on WP forks. They're trying to cut costs where they can to then make better profit. All that stuff. Jimmy Nair, I can't believe you've suffered that long either. Thank you so much. 1,200, that was a long time ago. Actually, that's just it. It wasn't that long ago, which is crazy. Beverly Boys, you should love it. It's going to be great. Next bike to be lap tested. I haven't seen one in a while. So hello, Dirt. That is because it is 1,000 degrees down here where that lap takes place. It's summertime, and I don't ride out in the Adobes during the summer. It's just way too freaking hot. So the next one will be the 05 YZ125. I got it jetted and running really good. So it's going to be, yeah. So that will be the next one. And then as we go into fall, we'll do a whole bunch more out there. It's just, like I said, it's too hot right now. Maker Stream, I hope that we hit to 15K. And then I really am aiming for 100K and on beyond. I just want to spread this gospel two wheels, guys. Bruce Kennedy, interested to see if Triumph sources WTP suspension and chrome pipes. I love it. That is awesome. Let's see. I think I've been missing some guys. Let's see. Let's see. I just Googled the TM, sweet looking bike, but maybe a little too exotic here in Australia. Dude, Glenn, I'll tell you right now, forget the TM in Australia. I won't even, I mean, Chris rides a TM here in the United States. I think he's freaking crazy for that. They're awesome, beautiful motorcycles, but like, trying to find parts and support whatever would be tough even here. I can't imagine in Australia. So sorry, Chris, your bike is a beautiful piece of art, but that's how I feel. Scott Willard, if you're going to do a ride the world trip in the area of the Diablo de Corno, I'd be happy to show you around the other awesome Nari Mist. It's in my backyard. Yeah. So I am planning on that for next year, is to do a ride the world in the area of the San Isabel area, because that was awesome, like super awesome, like just an amazing place. Scott, we should talk about that, because I want to know if there's enough riding for 3 days of riding, because that's how these ride the world things work. It's 3 days of riding, and I want to make sure there's enough. Good. Dirty Doe, least favorite dirt bike to work on? Good question. Honestly, it's older CRFs, man. And it's not because it's the worst. I'm so tired of working on CRFs. They dude, they just have problems. I mean, everybody knows about the valve problems. The carburetor is a nightmare to get to and work on. It's that thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. When I see a CRF show, which right now the shop has like a pile of them, it's crazy how many CRFs are sitting at the shop right now. And it's and there you go, right? Of course we have a lot of KTMs too, and that's just because a ton of people ride KTMs. But probably CRF. Probably actually the single one would be a CRF 250X carburetor, impossible. Kim Jackson, yes. I think 3 days up in Southwest Wyoming would be awesome, really cool. And Mike Klinger, yes, there's a ton of really good, difficult trails in the San Isabel area. I just don't know if there's enough to make sense for a big group to come and hang out for 3 days. So, Scott, we'll talk about it. All right, guys, I got a boogie. It is 8:08. I love you guys. Thanks for joining us for the Gospel of Two Wheels. Make sure you share this with people. Make sure you share our channel with people if you're enjoying it, if you think we're doing a good job. I just absolutely love doing it. I'm amazed that we hit 10,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Dirty Doe, I've not ridden Montana. That is on the list. Anyway, I love you guys. Punk Rock Club, thank you for sticking around to the end. You guys are rad. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels. And as always, you know exactly what I'm going to say. I desperately hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you guys to work on and get out and ride your dirt bikes.